I was having a conversation with someone this morning via Zoom, and we got talking about resilience. So I thought that I'd focus on this for my weekly insight on mental health and well-being. So today's topic is about how to practice resilience with mindfulness. It's very difficult, obviously, to be 100% positive every single day, 365 days a year, and resilient like that. We all have good days and bad days, and this is usually determined by what has happened to us. Now, I want to ask you a question. What if we flipped the script and started relating to things differently? What if what makes us a good day or a bad day isn't so much about what happens to us, but as to how we respond? We know that freedom is a state of mind. Without a doubt, life comes with all sorts of difficulties, some of which we can control and others completely out of our control. Now, often we are not in control of a lot of the things that happens to us. So, for example, an accident happens on your way to your destination, causing a roadblock. We get distracted by someone at the door just before leaving the house and forget our phone. Our car breaks down, or unexpected traffic jams. The train is delayed and we're late to a meeting or to work. Our computer stops working. Now, all of these things have happened to me, and I'm sure has happened to many of you as well. And the thing is, what has made all the difference between spiraling into painful emotions like frustration, anger, confusion, and despair, and being able to keep my head above water hasn't been the amount of catastrophes that life can sometimes pack into a 24-hour period, or the severity of the events. What's truly mattered has been my state of mind. The best way to describe how I've managed changes is by taking up a mindful practice. So mindfulness for resilience, that focuses purely on the resilient side of things. Now, resilience is the ability to recover from depression, adversities, buoyancy. In essence, it's the ability to bounce back. Now, by mastering resilience is an exceptionally useful skill for anyone interested in living a more meaningful, happy life and wanting to reach their goals and results more successfully. The less time and effort it takes to bounce back from unpleasant experiences, the more time and energy becomes available to enjoy the things in life and fulfill our hopes and dreams. But I'd like to share a word of caution before I go on. I'm not suggesting that when we experience extreme adversity, like the death of a loved one, the loss of our homes, or a life-threatening illness, that our ability to recover is solely upon to us. So what I'm saying is that research suggests that the most important factors in someone's resilience isn't just down to the positive outlook. What made the most difference was the resources available to those who were suffering. And not just the kind of resources but the time it took to access them. The sooner the better, and the combination of resources that supported people to return to normal or a normal life as quickly as possible. Now, all three of the adverse experiences that I mentioned above have happened to me, and like I said, must be to many of you. But in addition to my own efforts to take care of myself, I've benefited greatly from the love and support of family and friends, physical and mental health services, financial resources, and consistent employment if possible. And I definitely would not have recovered as quickly if I hadn't had those things around me or reached out to them. So in effect, mindfulness practice also depends on being some basic resources already in place for you to reach out to build those foundations. It's your choice. Now, if you're as cynical as I was when I first started out mindfulness practice way back, you might be thinking one of the number of things. Well, it's all well and good for some people, but it's not for me. Is she suggesting we simply take a deep breath and get on with it? What about all the unfair things in life? Shouldn't we just try and make the world a better place? What if mindfulness turns me into a zombie? Now, I'm not suggesting that we simply suck it up and keep on going. What I am suggesting is that there may be an easier way to face uncertainty than rather ragging against the reality. So through mindfulness, we can learn to respond to our life from a much more creative place than the one we get ourselves into when we are habitually reacting to it. So it's about cultivating resilience. Now, for many of us, if we take work as an example, is an important part of our lives, and also a place where we experience ups and downs all the time. Our work can be both a source of energy, creativity, and productivity, as well as a drain, where we sometimes lose touch with our own capacities and motivation. So here are my top 3 practices that I want to share with you that have helped me bounce back from difficult situations, for example at work, sometimes even with greater energy and enthusiasm than before. So number 1 is acknowledge the difficulty. One of my favourite is breath works. What you resist persists. When we try and push away the unpleasant sensations and thoughts or emotions that inevitably arise in the difficult situations, we are reinforcing a habit of resistance. This resistance, initially meant to protect us, paradoxically ends up hardening us against the feelings, including the unpleasant ones. And those difficult sensations and thoughts and emotions tend to come back, sometimes stronger than before. So by simply pausing and acknowledging that we're experiencing the difficulty, we learn to dial down our habitual resistance and create a new habit of acceptance and a capacity to be within our experience rather than against it. This in turn provides space for unpleasant sensations, thoughts, and emotions to simply be there and eventually pass through them. This acknowledgement doesn't have to take that long or require a great deal of your energy. It might be as simple as taking a deep breath, placing our hands on our heart and saying to ourselves like, this is hard, or I'm finding this really difficult. But find your own words for how to meet the difficult situation or feeling, and notice the relief you might feel through this simple act. 2, give yourself a hug. I know. Did she really suggest that? Yes. Okay. If it helps, you can call it something like arms crossed over the chest and around the back. Whatever you call it, what is important is how it makes you feel. Now, research again shows us that by simply giving ourselves a good squeeze for about 20 seconds, we can release important hormones like oxytocin that helps reduce stress and anxiety. This also is especially good strategy when you're physically hurt. 3, let in the good. When all else fails, sometimes the best thing we can do is simply resource ourselves with pleasant experiences. Again, research suggests that because of the neuroplasticity, the brain's capacity to rewire itself over time, we can actually change our experience in real time by choosing focus on the things that we feel good about rather than dwelling on the bad stuff. Now, I'm not suggesting that we try and replace negative thoughts with positive ones that may actually end up causing you more stress. This practice is actually about finding something that makes you feel good and dwelling in the experience for a little while, like for example 12 seconds, but then moving on. You may enjoy feeling the warmth in your hands or the softness of your clothing against your skin, going for a walk in the park, listening to your favourite piece of music, drinking a warm cup of tea or just warm water. Whatever it is, really take the time to notice how it feels and the effect it has on you, the mindfulness part of it. Throughout your working day, build in short breaks, for this can simply be delightful. Just do it. Just like Nike says, resilience is something we can all build over time, expanding our bandwidth to be with discomfort and supporting ourselves so we don't end up in unhelpful, anxious mental states. Now, by practicing these 3 simple things, you may find that the next time life throws you something unexpected your way, you'll be able to bounce back a little bit quicker and lighter than before. So why not give it a go? What do you have to lose? Thank you again for listening, and I really do hope that you find these 3 tips useful to building your resilience through mindfulness. So it's about self-awareness. So please do share and comment on your thoughts and experience around this, because I love learning from others, but also how you can begin to implement these within your work culture. Now, for more information about me and my services, visit https://zinatnarani.com, or alternatively arrange a 30-minute call with me at calendly.com/zinatnarani. I'm Zinat Narani from Vida de la Mariposa Coaching, helping you to live the life you desire by empowering your mind. My hashtag is free your mind.